What's going on, everybody? So I've been taking a little break, but I figured I should probably get back to it and enjoy the content. So what I want to go over, I've got a few videos in the works. A couple of them are modification videos, and a couple of them are, I guess, my usual tabletop educational style. What I wanted to do is just do a short video, just like this is strictly education, about the Beretta 92, specifically the safety decocker. So that's what this video is going to be centered around today. So a lot of times I get a lot of people ask me why I like the 92 so much and how the safety system works. The simplest answer to that is I like the 92 and its decock and the way the safety decocker works is because of how safe the system actually is. So this is point of reference. Yes, this is in fact an unloaded gun. So what I want to do is I want to go over, so for starters, there's two types of 92 slide. There's the 92F and the 92G. The F series, or the FS, is the safety decocker, where it is not only a decocker, but a safety. So when I flick that down, it turns on and completely disables the firearm. Or completely disables the firing mechanism, sorry. So that's a safety decocker. The decock only is like on this 92X here, where when I flick the safety on, it'll decock the hammer, but then it springs back up. This is generally the preferred method for the Beretta 92. Most variants ship like the one you see here, and something like this you do aftermarket, so to speak. Or it'd be something you'd install yourself or have a gunsmith install. In this case, I did it myself. That being said, the 92X platforms do ship with the G series conversion. Factory installed. Anyways, so this is kind of a twofold part. So reason number one, I enjoy it so much, and I actually don't mind the slide mounted safety decocker for the simple sake of it doesn't interfere with my shooting grip at all, like something like, say, the SIG 226. I love the P226. I think it's a great gun, but that decocker there is in a position that personally I'm not a fan of. I'm not talking down about the design. It's just I don't prefer it personally. So, the decocker, so when I flick that down, generally speaking, especially with a new shooter, that tends to, oh, geez, like, it scared me. The gun almost went off. No. So, I'm going to hold the hammer back here. So, if I hold the hammer back, what you see right here, so that's the firing pin plunger. So, basically, when the hammer falls, it strikes that piece right there, which in turn hits the firing pin, which then strikes the primer of the round, making the gun go bang. So, pretty simplistic little setup. So what happens when I activate the safety, it actually rotates that plunger out of the way. So now it's out of the way. So when the hammer falls, it falls basically on the dead, or it just falls against the slide. It can't, there's no possible way for this to go bang. Now, should that mechanism fail, and this doesn't rotate out of the way and this falls, you still have your firing pin block here. So even though the hammer fell on a live round and this part of the safety system failed, but it's highly unlikely, that is still blocking the firing pin from moving. So in order to get the gun to actually go bang, you have to pull the trigger, and then you see how it rises up, then the gun can fire. So that's part one of the safety system, and I think that's really cool. Now, I have the inox out here just because it's easier to see. So we're going to disassemble it here. So as you activate the safety mechanism, you have your notch right here. So basically what happens is you see how I rotate that? When I rotate that down, that little notch there is what activates the decocker on the frame. And that piece, I took the grips off just for contrast because a stainless gun just shows it better. We'll touch this guy right here, this little thing right here. So that, when that gets pushed down, that piece on the slide pushes that down, and it causes the hammer to drop. So see how that works? All right. Now, if you look lower, you can see something else moving. So you're probably wondering what that is. That is, in fact, the sear. So that is the sear that your entire trigger mechanism is connected to. So when I push that down, we'll see if I can do it in the light here. looks pretty good there. All right, so you see how it moves? So that is the sear releasing from the trigger mechanism, which in turn allows the hammer to fall. So again, that's why the system itself is so safe, because it's got multiple redundancies that in the event one part fails, you don't need to worry about the gun going off on you when you decock it, which is a pretty cool system. And that's why I like it so much, because it's simple. It's, well, I don't want to say it's simple, but it's very intuitive, but it's also very easy to use. So that's one of my big reasons I like it. And another reason I like it is, those of you who know me know I'm a huge fan of the Beretta 92. Beretta has released, of course, the 92X Performance, which everybody just loves. That gun has what's called the Extreme S trigger. Now that is basically, it's got about a 6-pound double action trigger, like a 2-pound single action. Like it's an incredible trigger and a very short reset. That is what I installed on this guy. So this guy here, this 92X, has the Extreme S trigger. So I've got the 92X Performance or the Elite Series hammer. I've got the 92X Performance hammer spring. The trigger, you can tell the trigger's different. So the spring, everything like that. The sear is a 92X Performance sear. So these are all, and of course the trigger bar. So these are all parts out of the 92X Performance. I really like the performance, but the one issue I have with it is it didn't have a decocker. So when you, just because it has a thumb safety rather than the slide mounted, you have to actually click it on and click it off, or click it on, click it off kind of thing. The problem with that is when you do it, in order to decock the gun, you have to manually do that, which is the main reason I don't like the CZ line of pistols, is because the amount of times I go to an IPSC match and I see people go to do that and they miss it. And the hammer falls and sets the gun off, and boom, you're disqualified. So that sucks. The 92X, the Extreme S trigger group is compatible with pretty much all Beretta 92 platform of pistols, and it works with the decocker. So you get a 92X Performance trigger with the safety of a decocker, which, if you ask me, is a win-win. Anywho, that's just a quick little educational video. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see y'all next time.